everybody, and welcome to a new reading and writing vlog. This month is another round of Pop Culture Readathon, which is one of my absolute favorites, hosted by Whitney, and I will leave all the hosts' links down below. This round is centered on Disney Channel original movies, which I'm very excited about, so I'm going to be trying to complete 2 bingo boards because I'm insane. The first is the 90s themed one, which is like the easy board because there's only 9 prompts. And then I'm going to try and complete the early 2000s board as well, because it's got all of my favorite movies. The last board, I haven't really watched any of the movies on it, so I'm not really that particularly excited about it, but I'm going to do the first 2. Very exciting. And I'm going to try and finish all of these by the 27th of the month, because on the 27th I leave for the cottage, and I have an entirely different stack of books that I'm planning on bringing to the cottage. They're all like thrillers that I really want to get to, like all my Agatha Christie bind-ups. That's what I tend to read while I'm at the lake, so I'm bringing that on top of all of these. So the first book I'm going to read, just to kick off the month, because it's actually going to be the book that reaches my reading goal, because I'm currently at 49 books out of my goal of 50. So to make my 50th book go out with a bang, I'm going to start with Get a Life, Chloe Brown, by Shelley Hibbert, because I'm rereading the entire Brown Sisters trilogy this month. I've made them fit into all the prompts as well, so I'm going to start with Get a Life, Chloe Brown today and probably read the whole thing. Hi everybody, today is Tuesday. I'm just getting some work done right now for my internship, but I wanted to give you guys a update. I got book mail. I think I know exactly what this is, but let's open it. There it is. I got a arc of The Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Marais. I'm so excited about this book. This book comes out on August 23rd. Sorry, the cover here is like the next deadline, so it's like, no, it's not it. It is August 23rd. This book, the final copy, comes out. I'm really excited about this. I love a good witchy story. This one is blurbed as being the new practical magic for a generation of women who value sisterhood, friendship, and fierce, fabulous feminism above all else. This tells the story of a coven of witches that gather as a, mob wants to destroy their manor. Says, all eyes turn to the witch in charge, Queenie, who confesses they've fallen far behind on their mortgage payment. Still, there's hope. Since an imminent return of Ruby, one of the sisterhood has been gone for 33 years, will surely be their salvation. Says the witches are determined to save their home and themselves, but their aging powers are no match for increasingly malicious threats. Thankfully, they get a bit of a help from Persephone, a feisty TikToker eager to smash the patriarchy. As the deadline to save the manor approaches, fractures among the sisterhood are revealed and long-held secrets are exposed, culminating in a fiery confrontation with their enemies. I'm really excited about this. I want to try and get to this as soon as I can. It's about just under 400 pages, but it's one of my most anticipated books since the Frenzy Presents that this was featured in, and I'm very, very excited. It's going to be a good time, and thank you very much to HarperCollins for sending this my way. Hello everybody. It is Friday. I haven't really updated because I have not really been reading. But something exciting happened this week, and that is that I got offered a library job. I interviewed for a job at my local library back in April, and I didn't get the job, but I got told that they wanted to keep my information on hand. And on Monday, I got offered an information assistant position starting in August, and I'm over the moon excited. I wanted to wait to tell you until I'd gotten my job offer and everything, and it was kind of concrete. but I'm over the moon excited. And because of that, I've just been working really hard at my internship and at school this week, so I haven't really had a chance to read. Okay, so long story. Today in Ontario, or most of Canada, one of our internet service providers out of two, Rogers, went down for 16 hours today. It just came back online. But earlier today, it deals a lot with our debit machines. Like, debit was down basically across the country because Rogers is the one that's in charge of the Interact debit system that we use. And so to go out for dinner, we wanted to make sure that we'd be able to pay for it. And so to test my credit card to see if it was going to work with the internet outage, I ended up buying a novella on Kindle just out of the blue. And I ended up picking up Below Zero by Ali Hazelwood. This is apparently the third in the little STEM novellas that Ali Hazelwood has written. It's the first Ali Hazelwood book I've ever read. But my cousin read The Love Hypothesis about a week ago and really enjoyed it, and so I figured we tend to like the same styles of writing, so I figured I'd give it a go. And while I was in the bath, I ended up reading it all in one go, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, but I had to document it because that was my 50th book of the year. I just reached my Goodreads goal, and I can't quite believe it. I'm super excited, and I'm really happy about it. I'm happy that I ended off with a romance and a 4-star read, and I'm just happy with it. For Pop Culture Readathon, I decided to rearrange my prompts a little bit just to make it count, and so it's going to count for High School Musical prompt on the 2000s board, which is to read a book by an overhyped author or series. Ali Hazelwood and The Love Hypothesis is incredibly overhyped, so I think that works. And then it's going to count as my short fiction for the month because it was a novella. But I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, that's a bit of a long-winded way of telling you what I did today. But, we leave tomorrow for Stratford, and so I'm going to spend the rest of the evening reading Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I'm still only about 75 pages in, so I need to get on it, I guess. I've just not been in a reading mood lately, which is unfortunate considering the size of my TBR, but I wanted to give you guys a reading update.
Anniversary Lego Day.
Hello everybody. Today is Monday, July 11th. Yes. And as you guys saw from the earlier bits of this vlog, we went book shopping, we went to Fanfare, and we went to Stratford. Let's just start at the beginning. We went to Stratford for our 7-year anniversary celebration. We went and saw Hamlet, which I absolutely adored. It was so good. And I wanted to share with you some of the books that we picked up because we went book shopping, of course. So the first few books that I got at the gift shop because they have some really great special editions, and I have a tradition of picking up a modern library edition of a Shakespeare play to add to my collection. I already had Hamlet. Usually I pick up the one for the play that I'm seeing, but I already had Hamlet. So I ended up picking up Richard II, which I have seen. And just haven't gotten a copy yet. So this one's stunning. I love it. They all make like a rainbow with the covers, and they just make me really happy. Then we picked up a beautiful Penguin Classics edition of Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I've never had a Penguin Classics edition yet, so I'm really happy to have this. And then, of course, we picked up the World Cloud Classics edition of Pride and Prejudice. They didn't have the Penguin Classics edition, so we picked up this one instead. And then we went to Fanfare, which is my favorite independent bookshop ever. I'm obsessed with it, and I got a good stack there. So first I picked up Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Bazterrica. This is a translated work of fiction that is supposed to be incredibly disturbing. I'm saving this for like autumn times, but it is a like horror novel. I think it's a novel, it might be a novella, following this main character who works at a meat processing plant, but this is in a dystopian future where the sale of human meat has been put into law. So he works at a slaughterhouse for humans. It says here, one day, the main character, Marcos, is given a gift, a live specimen of the finest quality. Though he's aware that any form of personal contact is forbidden on pain of death, little by little he starts to treat her like a human being, and soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost and what might still be saved. I've heard it's incredibly disturbing, and I'm excited to read it in the following months. Next up, I picked up The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I picked this up because I want to read it for Summerween. This is a standalone horror novel following a main character that is going to a support group for other final girls, aka they're the only survivors of massive massacres, kind of like horror movie slasher style. It says here, in horror movies, the final girls are the ones standing when the credits roll. They made it through the worst night of their lives, but what happens after? From chainsaws to summer camp slayers, Grady Hendrix' fast-paced and wickedly humorous thriller pays tribute to and slyly subverts our most popular horror films, movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Scream. Classic horror slashers are my favorite genre of horror movie, and like Scream is one of my favorite movies just in general, and so I'm really excited to read this, and this is going to count for the prompt on Summerween to read a slasher, so yeah, I'm excited about this one. Next up, I picked up a copy of Once and Future Wishes by Alexi Harrow. I've heard nothing but good things about this one. It's kind of a historical story following 3 sisters who are part of the suffragists of New Salem. It says here they begin to pursue the forgotten words in ways that might turn the women's movement into the witches movement. So it's got a lot of feminist storytelling aspect to it. And yeah, I've heard it's fantastic. It's massive, but I've heard it's really good, and I'm excited to read it. Again, another one for like autumn time. Next up, I picked up one of my most highly anticipated books of the year, and that is Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reid. This is the author of The Wolf and the Woodsman, which I still have yet to read, but I'm going to try and read both of these, or both of her books this autumn again. But this is a retelling of the myth, or the fairy tale, The Juniper Tree, and it follows a young witch who seeks to discover her identity and escape the domination of her ruthless wizard father. Perfect for fans of Shirley Jackson and Catherine M. Valente. I love a good fairy tale retelling. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about Ava Reid's writing and her ability to weave a fairy tale, so I'm so excited to get to this very soon. And then finally, I've been wanting to get a bit more into poetry, and so I ended up picking up Flower Crowns and Fearsome Things by Amanda Lovelace. I've heard really great things about Amanda Lovelace's writing, her poetry in particular, like The Princess Saves Herself in this one, etc., etc. And I've wanted to pick them up for a while, and this one just like stuck out to me at the bookstore. it seems like a really great collection. Dedication says, for those who wish to raise hell most elegantly. There's a lot of trigger warnings in here. And it says here, the note from the author, Mary meet, there's a beloved goddess from Greek mythology you may or not be familiar with. Her name is Persephone. She's fascinating for an endless list of reasons, including the fact that she's considered to be both the goddess of spring as well as the queen of the underworld, making her quite the complicated woman in my humble opinion. In this collection, I explore how in this modern age, we too are often equal parts soft and fierce. Remember, there's no need to choose one or the other. Laced with love, Amanda. I think it's just got a lot of poetry about empowerment and, again, feminism. And I'm really excited to give this a go. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. I really hope you enjoyed it. Short and sweet, but I really enjoyed myself this weekend, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a come book shopping with me type deal. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please subscribe. I put out new bookish and writing videos every week, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye bye.